is just a revelation, and everybody's like, "Ah!" So let's talk about parent-child relationships. If you're a parent watching this and you're wondering how to get your children to want to connect with you instead of pulling away at your touch or rebelling against you or not liking you when all you want is the best for them, then this is the episode for you. If you are a child or a teenager or an adult whose parents are still meddling in your affairs, then this is the episode for you. Mothers, am I right? Listen, even if you love your mom, it can be difficult. That tug and pull between maturing and trying to be your own person and them wanting to just keep you and hold you tighter. How do you manage that? Wednesday shows the way. Mended Light. Wednesday is a Netflix reboot update of the Addams Family story, focusing in on Wednesday as she goes to Nevermore. But she goes off to school, to a school that her parents want her to go to because she doesn't quite fit in public school. I'm going to do a series on season 1 of Wednesday. We're going to talk about her neurodivergence. We're going to talk about her friendships. We're going to talk about withholding emotion and allowing it to come out. We're going to talk about good therapy versus bad therapy. But today, we're going to talk about relationships with parents who only want what's best for you and try and tell you how to live your life. Let's dive in.
Look at you, my little death trap. Seeing you in this uniform brings back so many terrible memories.
Perfect
doesn't it,
casting
Tish?
based on the comics.
Why don't you boys wait in the car? Wednesday and I need a moment.
Pugsley, you're soft and weak. You'll never survive without me. I give you 2 months, tops.
I'm gonna miss you too, sis.
He knows. He knows how she is. I wanted more Lurch in this series.
Any plans you have of running away end right now. I've alerted all family members to contact me the minute you darken their doorstep. You have nowhere to go.
As usual, you underestimate me, Mother. I will escape this educational penitentiary, and you will never hear from me again.
You're a brilliant girl, Wednesday, but sometimes you get in your own way. I'm sure you'll grow to love Nevermore and find it as life-changing as I did. Oh, I got you a little something. W. M. Our initials. It's made of obsidian,
Morticia and Wednesday.
which Aztec priests used to conjure visions. It's a symbol of our connection.
Which one of your spirits suggested this toe-curling tchotchke? I am not you, Mother. I will never fall in love, or be a housewife, or have a family.
I'm told girls your age say hurtful things. I shouldn't take it to heart.
Fortunately, you don't have one.
Finally, a kind word for your mother. Lurch, the crystal ball, please.
The crystal ball is basically like a cell phone, right? For them, so they can
No,
talk.
I can't talk to you for the first week while you're settling in, so we'll call you next Sunday.
Don't touch me. I mean, that's Catherine Zeta-Jones, so I have a different opinion. Oh, sorry. Sorry, that was the teenager in me coming out. I was 17 when Mask of Zorro came out. Give me a break. When we're little, we completely rely on our parents for everything, right? They tell us how the world works. They tell us what we can and what we cannot do. And they just guide us. And we're happy, for the most part, to have them guide us, except when they have rules that we don't want to follow and they have expectations that we don't want to meet. And that happens very early on. I mean, that's the terrible twos, right? And it doesn't stop. It just gets more pronounced. As we journey towards adulthood, more and more we want to have independence. We want to do things our way. And as parents, Like, you're not ready. You don't have the maturity. You don't have the life experience. It's not a question of intelligence. It's a question of earned wisdom. And oftentimes we're afraid that our children will make mistakes that they can't come back from, or that they'll make mistakes that will cause them harm, right? And so we try and guide and say, this is what you will and won't do. And, you know, to a certain extent, that's a parental right while someone's a minor. The thing about Wednesday and her mother here is that Morticia wants Wednesday to follow in her footsteps. She says, I want you to have the experiences that I had at Nevermore. And Morticia was a rock star. She was a social rock star here. She fenced, she was on the rowing team, she was very popular, she was very loved. She fell in love with Gomez. She had all sorts of creepy, kooky experiences that shaped her. And these, she and Gomez later say these were the best years of our lives. And they want Wednesday to have that. The issue is Wednesday doesn't want it. And she resents her mother for forcing it upon her. The real crux of it is Wednesday is already clear on who she is and who she wants to be. I'm not like you, Mother. I'm not going to get married. I'm not going to have a family. And Morticia says, I'm told that girls at your age say hurtful things, so I shouldn't take it to heart. Not really hearing the actual message, which is Wednesday saying that she's her own person and she needs to do things her way. Now, they're both right and they're both wrong. Wednesday later says that it pains her to admit it, but she's going to enjoy it at Nevermore because she almost gets murdered, she gets pulled into a conspiracy, there's all sorts of mystery, there's all sorts of violence, and she says, actually, I like it here. And she has to concede that her mother was right. But Morticia was also wrong, that Wednesday has to make the experience her own. And this is something that they arrive at. You may feel like you need help, but you're not sure you can afford it. Or you really like to handle things yourself and aren't sure that counseling is a fit for you. We hear you, loud and clear. That's why we've designed a low-cost Mended Light membership site to give you an affordable, self-guided option for trauma recovery, mental health, and stronger connections. All of these courses are available or coming soon to the membership site, with a new course every month. What's more, every month Alicia and I offer live Q&As with members where we answer your burning questions about trauma recovery, how to have healthy relationships, and how to improve your health. And we have a Book of the Month club where you can join us as we read, then talk about a different book to help us all along in our growth and healing. And did I mention the giveaways? Every month we select winners from among our members for free Mended Light merch, gift cards, virtual lunches with Alicia and I, vacations, and even cruises. Every day you go without needed support is a day you suffer needlessly. Our membership site is built out and waiting for you, complete with videos, audio recordings, workbooks, summaries, and practical application exercises so that what you're learning truly takes hold in your life. And we're waiting for you to answer live your questions and give you direct feedback and guidance. Sign up for your Mended Light membership today with no sign-up or cancellation fees. Why wait to heal? Why wait to feel brave and whole? Get started today by clicking below.
You were very impressive in there.
When did your visions begin?
A few months ago. Before I left for Nevermore.
I'm sorry you didn't feel you could tell me. I know we've had our difficulties lately, navigating the treacherous shoals of our mother-daughter relationship. But I'm always here for you, Wednesday. Always.
Sometimes when I touch someone or something, I get these very violent glimpses from the past or future. I don't know how to control it.
Our psychic ability resides on the spectrum of who we are. Given my disposition, my visions tend to be positive. That makes me a dove.
And for someone like me, who sees the world through a darker lens,
You're a raven. Your visions are more potent, more powerful. But without the proper training, they can lead to madness. If I could help you, I would, Wednesday. But we're not trained by the living. Somebody from our bloodline reaches out from beyond.
So this is a bit more plot-wise, but I'm going to talk about why.
but he has.
Why Wednesday's
Seen it
opening
before.
up.
Be careful, Wednesday. Goody was a witch of great strength. But her vengeance pushed her too far, and even she couldn't save herself.
So the important thing about this scene as far as what we're doing today is that Wednesday opened up to her mother. Why? What's happened in between this scene and the last scene that's caused that to happen? Frankly, it's because Morticia started telling Wednesday the truth. There were skeletons in the closet that Morticia was keeping from Wednesday in order to protect her, instead of showing that she trusted her and respected her enough to give her the truth. That's the first thing that started to build a bridge between them. The other thing is that Morticia is respecting that Wednesday needs to forge her own path. She says a little bit later that my memories and my experiences are just that, mine. You have to forge your own path. You have to find your own way. And she says, I don't want to be a stranger in your life. So this type of vulnerability, this type of honesty, this type of willingness to meet in the middle leads Wednesday to trust her mother and to open up. The fact that her mother goes to bat for her, and not in a controlling, like the mom and turning red type of way of, I'm going to handle your problems for you, but just I'm here for you and I've got your back. My mom used to say, once you're 18, I did the best I could. So once you're 18, I did the best I could. Once a child is an adult and they're on their own and they're paying for their own life, they're making their own decisions. And what the child wants is the only thing that matters because they're now an adult, right? They're going to make their decisions. And as a parent, you may have the right to voice an opinion once and say, may I tell you what I'm seeing? And then I respect you're going to make whatever choice you're going to make. You don't have the right as the parent of an adult to hammer the child consistently trying to push them in the direction you want them to go. They have to learn to make their own choices. And that starts before adulthood, right? Before adulthood, there has to be a balance between what the parent wants and what, in this case, what the teenager wants. And Morticia would be willing at this point in the story to let Wednesday leave Nevermore if that's what she wanted because she gave it a try. But Wednesday accepted influence from her mother and decided, maybe I do like it here, but I'm going to do it my own way. And when Morticia gives Wednesday advice or counsel, the reason that Wednesday listens to her at this point and would not have listened to her at the beginning, she didn't respect her mother. Why? Because her mother didn't show her respect. Her mother didn't let her choose. Her mother didn't let her have a voice. Her mother just basically dictated to her what her path would be. Here they've grown to a place where, because Morticia gives Wednesday room to be herself and room to make choices within limits, right, because she's still a minor, Wednesday in turn respects her mother and is willing to listen to her. The issue with helicopter parenting is that it creates rebels. You want a specific outcome, you want your child to turn out a specific way to do specific things, and you're actually guaranteeing that they won't, because nobody likes to be controlled. They will push back, right? They will push back and they will escape, which is what Morticia is talking about at the beginning, keeping Wednesday from escaping. Why does Wednesday keep escaping? Why? Because her mom's trying to control her and she won't be bridled. Children and teenagers need guidance more than control, or guidance instead of control. They don't really need control. They need conversation. They don't need lectures, they need listening. And then they need you to be vulnerable and talk about your failures and your life experience so they can learn from it as well as your successes. So this has been our first Wednesday Addams video. Next time we're going to talk about the 2 therapy sessions that take place on the show, and I'm going to give some commentary on good therapy versus poor therapy, and also how to show up for therapy so that it's most beneficial for you. Now, if you enjoyed this video, I invite you to check out this other one. You can't fix broken family relationships, they said, talking about poor advice from therapists and what our response is to that. If you need help with your family relationships or working through the trauma of abusive or neglectful parenting, which is not what happened here, I'm just saying, you can go to mendedlight.com and schedule a complimentary 15-minute discovery call with one of our specialists, and then they can help you through that. What did you think of Wednesday, the series? Let us know in the comments below. How do you deal with parent-child relationships? What's been helpful for you? Let us know in the comments below because we like to learn from you. Until next time, folks, keep shining because we need your light.